Welcome to the Sacred Success Summit, where you access the secrets to sacred success and become even more of the goddess you've always known you were. Your host for this session is Candace McKim. Candace is a #1 international best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and renowned intuitive manifestation coach, known for her vibrant approach to helping purpose-driven women manifest more income and impact sustainably. Co-creator of this summit, Candace is eager to introduce another inspirational guest. Take it away, Candace.
Welcome, everybody. I am really excited about our first guest of the summit, Nancy Nance, and her talk is Soulful Liberation. Welcome, Nancy.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. This is just amazing. It really is.
I know, I'm super excited today. Like my cheeks are red. And let me introduce you properly. Nancy Nance is an energy healer, psychic medium, and internationally best-selling author from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She guides women to soulful liberation by supporting them as they navigate their emotional and spiritual healing. She is quite a rebel. Nancy breaks through boundaries and understands transformational effects. She is a rebel with a cause and a humble, peaceful warrior. All right, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you're so welcome. You know, when we think of healing, so often it feels like ripping the Band-Aid off. And soulful liberation is freedom from limits on thoughts or behaviors. And so often in life, people will tell you that grief is something that you get over. I call bullshit.
Okay.
So if we looked at who in the audience being you and me, who has struggled with grief?
Put in the chat. Hello. Yes.
Right? Hello. Yeah. Who is struggling with grief? Right. The other hand. And most important, who got over grief? So when someone that you love dies, you lose a piece of your heart. It's different for every death. It's different for every single person, because the connection to the loved one doesn't end when they die. There isn't an on-off switch. When you turn off the television, the signal isn't gone. It's waiting for you to turn it back on. And the signal is waiting in that space between. Your loved one is waiting for you to connect with them.
Right. So tell everybody a little bit how you were guided into this journey.
Through the death of my own daughter. When Emily Joy died in 2011, my heart was ripped out. It was just ripped out. And at the time, it felt so foreign because it was though I could connect with her, but I wanted to touch her. And when I realized that I could connect with her and touch her soul, it was a very different experience, and it didn't feel natural. It wasn't that experience that a mother has with a physical child. It was different. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us more about that. That's fascinating. So it's like knowing the presence, but it's a different sort of connection. Then tell us more about that. I'm curious.
Well, you might believe that death is the end. And I don't believe that for a moment. I know that death is another beginning. Love never, ever dies. Love is not a thing like a backpack. You lose a backpack. You don't lose a person.
Right.
The thought that you're never going to see your loved one again, well, that's devastating. If you open your heart to the possibility that there is no death, instead there's a change in frequency, your frequency expands. So it is within the expansion that there's hope. Your ability to connect with your loved one is possible. Your loved one will always hold a space in your heart. Absolutely everything is alive. Life is movement and action. And there's a life force that holds a rock together. The atoms, protons, electrons that miraculously hold together that crystalline structure of a rock are bound together by a life force. So just because you can't see the life force without using a very powerful microscope doesn't make it any less real. Yet
Right.
I need to see with my two eyes has governed our belief system for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I find that so interesting that we have this need to be able to see things, and then yet we don't. Like, we are spiritual beings, and we have this connection to source, to, the spirit of our own understanding, right? Whatever, if that's God, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
It is so interesting that yet then when there's something like this, when somebody dies, we feel like, no, we have to see them. We have to be able to touch them. We have to have that kind of relationship with them.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're
Yeah.
most used to. That's what we're most used to. And when we go through major transitions in our life, whether that is a transition of a loss of a person, a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, we
Mm-hmm.
struggle through grief.
Yeah.
And when we hit those rock bottom moments, so for example, you might be thinking that a terminal illness is a death sentence and there's no hope.
Right.
Well, here's why that's wrong. The truth is that your
Say
body
that
and
again. Just sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but say it
no.
again. Say that again. You might think that.
Well, terminal illness is a death sentence and that there's no hope.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
why that's wrong. Your truth is that your body and cells are holding on to cellular memory. That's the sparkles that holds your body together. Cellular memory. You can't see it. Once again, when you can't
Right.
see it, it feels uncomfortable. In
Mm,
that cellular memory, you're holding on to old emotions,
right.
stresses, and injuries. And these are called insults. That's an easy one to understand. Just
Yeah.
think of a person who has insulted you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Memory. So that's a mind memory. It's
Right.
also in your cells. They're also called contractions,
Yeah.
hold on to, and energy cysts. So if you think of a cyst, think of a pimple and then
Yeah.
make it bigger, harder, and deeper.
Right.
That's where it's held. Like it's deep, deep, deep within you, wherever there is a opening in your body, a blockage, so to say. So when the
Right.
tissue holds on to this cell memory, it is essentially holding on to polarity,
Mm,
karma. We hear that word, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Karma. It's density, and
Right.
density is heavy and it weighs you down. Think of a person that you want to get even with, someone that's wronged you.
Mm-hmm. I don't typically feel like I want to get even with people, but yeah. Okay.
Right. Well, someone who hit your car. I mean,
Okay.
you just got a
Yeah.
brand new Audi, you drove
Yeah.
out the parking lot, and a dump truck driver backed up into you.
Yes. I might be a little angry. I would be very
Oh
angry.
my God, right? You'll lose it, right? And when
Yeah.
you release that weight, understanding that it wasn't the dump truck driver, it
Right.
wasn't the dump truck driver, it was the dump truck. It's easier. It's about shifting your mind. And when you
Right.
release that weight, an
Right.
amazing thing happens. You move into still point. In the meditation that you were working with us in,
Mm-hmm.
there was that space between the breath,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
space that we hold on to. How often do we hold our breath?
Yeah. Often. Lots.
Yeah, we just
Yeah. Yeah.
fear. Fear
Mm-hmm.
is a big, big, big one. And like I said,
Yeah.
still point, which is the beautiful space between the out breath and the in breath, between
Right.
positive and negative waveforms. It's neutrality.
Yeah.
Neutral is nice.
Yeah.
Neutral is nice. And
Mm-hmm.
with neutral, you can go backwards into past behaviors that may not have been the best reflection of the best possible you. It was what it was.
Yeah.
Anger is
Yeah.
okay when you unpack it and understand it.
Right. Yeah.
All emotions are okay. They're
Mm-hmm.
either constructive or destructive. And
Right.
I absolutely love helping people drop into still point
Mm-hmm.
so they can successfully unwind their body from the
Right.
stress.
Yeah.
Stress, anybody feeling stress, right?
I think the
Unwind
chat is locked.
the
I got
stress.
a message saying that the chat is disabled, so we're not able to get
It's
the
just
chat.
you and me, babe.
They're messaging me through Q&A, but yeah, it says chat is disabled. So we'll just carry on.
Well, we can always retouch it another day. So
Yeah,
when we
they're listening. There's people here though.
they're
They're
listening.
listening. They're
That's
messaging.
good.
Diana says, supporting you. Happy to be here. Love you.
So many people that have reached out to me that said they would be here, and it feels really, really good when we've got support. We're
Yeah.
able to unwind our stresses and unwind our difficulties when we feel supported. So
Yeah.
when we unwind this stress and this dis-ease, right?
Right. Yeah.
This causes a tremendous amount of angst in the body. This.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
unwind that and soften that,
Mm-hmm.
you're dissolving old emotions,
Right.
old stresses, old injuries that are stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the technologies that I use, I mean, I use a lot of different things
Yeah.
um, because of the experience that I had recovering after my own losses, the
Yeah.
loss of my daughter, the loss of a marriage, recovering from battered women's syndrome, cocaine, crack addiction. I mean, my trauma list is pretty loaded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I found scalar wave energy to help me unwind and
Mm-hmm.
then wind my body into a proper hexagonal formation. So if you take DNA and
Yeah.
look at it like this,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
you get little jagged marks. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a computer system when you have to defrag.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you defrag you, then your body can begin to release and restore and rejuvenate a
Yeah.
little
And
bit.
what I love about this is that it's the big trauma, like you just described a lot of really big trauma,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's even like when you have a headache and you feel yourself like tightening up and like I had a headache just a couple of weeks ago and I'm like, Candace, relax, like calm, like relax your face, relax. Like I was like tightening up making it
Mhm.
worse, right? But tightening up my skull and my neck and my shoulders and my face. And it's like, okay, relax, relax. This is what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking on
Absolutely.
more trauma, but we do it on big trauma, but we
Oh,
do it
it's the
just every
physical
day.
body that feels the dis-ease often.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a physical, sometimes it's the emotional, sometimes it's a spiritual. It's different for every day
Mm-hmm.
and every person. So take that. Every day, every person, it shifts. It's
Yeah.
changing massively. And that's why
Yeah.
when you enter the quantum field, which is the
Mm-hmm.
field of sparkles.
Love that. Love that description. Who doesn't like
Thank you.
sparkle?
It can transfer time and space.
Mm,
So quantum scalar wave energy can be experienced here in the now.
right.
I'm running it right now.
Okay. Love it.
So it's possible to feel it even if you're not in the room. When
Right.
you're physically in the room, that gives you the opportunity to tune out of all the other stuff that can distract us. Because how many of us are distracted
Yeah.
or are comfortable with distraction? The phone,
Yeah. Yeah.
the bird. When you drop into still point,
Mhm.
that's when you're able to shift cellular memory.
And the distraction becomes our normal and it becomes almost addictive. Like if we're not distracted, what are we? Right?
That's where
Like,
addictions form. That's where addictions form. And they
mm,
form early, super, super early in childhood.
okay.
Super, super. Because, like, when you're 2 years old, you're able to walk in one way. Somewhere near
Right.
the age of 2, you start walking the wrong way. You start imitating the people around you who
Right.
are not walking in alignment.
Mm,
They have their own belief systems.
yeah. Mhm.
I mean, add on your aunties, your uncles, your teachers. They're all people that are doing the best they can with what they had and
Yeah.
that may not have served your best being.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were your greatest guides. I mean,
I know
if
they don't mean
you,
any harm. It's right.
no, no, if you want
It's
to learn
coming from a
about
place of love.
peace, if you
Yeah.
want to learn about peace, and you wrap yourself in an orange monk and go sit up on a mountain, you'll
Mm-hmm.
experience one version of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Go into a relationship that activates you and triggers you.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're really going to learn.
Yeah. How do you find your peace there? Right? Like, or allowing yourself to go into peace there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the scalar wave energies helps me, my family, my friends, my familia, those people
Right.
that enter my life and become familiar with what it is that I do, who experience what joy can become. Because we all want more happiness, more
Yes.
love, more success.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in alignment with the best possible version of you,
Yeah.
you're going to make decisions that serve you instead of serving everybody else, because we get really good at serving everybody else, don't we?
Yeah. So
And
when
then
you're
we
in that
resent it.
place of stillness,
Mhm.
so then what happens?
Within that
What
place of
happens
still,
physically, mentally,
oh,
spiritually?
physically, your body will drop.
Mm.
Your body drops. Have you ever seen one of those videos with staying alive? Staying alive,
Oh
staying
yeah.
alive. And people start going, and they start you start to strut.
Yeah.
It's that feeling and ease at the same time. It's the feeling when you look at a sunset, when you look at a brand new baby and you just go, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? That's why we go
Yeah.
on vacation.
Pardon me?
That's why we go on vacation.
Right. To get that, to get that.
Unwind, to unwind. And then
Right.
you come
Yeah.
back to,
Because we get so wound up, right? We get so wound up. And then it's
yeah,
just that whole unwinding. That's what you're
yeah, the
talking
adrenal system. The
about. Mhm.
adrenal system. Go, 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 stop. And
Yeah.
then what happens? Sometimes it's the flu.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the exhaustion or the headache or the mind. Because as soon as you stop thinking, then your mind starts speaking. Oh, that's why meditation can be a challenge for some people. It was for me.
Was it?
Oh my gosh. When I first learned how to meditate, it was like being in a rubber room with a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of people who looked like they knew what they were doing. And then the mind, right? The
Yeah.
comparative mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's Candace. She's got it all together. It's the way that we look at things.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
started meditating so young, but still I'll find myself making my list. Like I started when I was 12 years old. And so, but I still like, oh, Candace, come on. You're making your list, you're taking notes in your head,
Mhm.
it's because that's why we call it a practice, right? Is that
Well,
you
that's
don't
why
ever
there's
master
seven
it.
limbs. That's why there's seven limbs to yoga.
Yeah.
There's the
Yeah.
physical practice, there's the
Yeah.
meditation. There's so much. There's the breathing, because
Breath. Yeah.
breathing is one part of meditation.
Yeah. And
You
there's
know,
Yeah,
well, you
and
know that
four
you're
of them
living
are
when you're
dedicated
breathing.
to meditation. Four of the eight
Yeah,
limbs of yoga are dedicated to
exactly.
meditation. Yeah.
And how do you know you're living? You're breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When the breath
Okay. This
stops,
is
right?
amazing. This is so
Well,
amazing.
now it
So,
opened up.
yeah, the chat's opened up. So if you want to put some love in there for Nancy, put some love in there. I know Patty put Q&A'd me. I am loving this talk. Yeah, this has been really, really powerful. So tell everybody about your gift that you're sharing.
Well, that's a Soulful Liberation guidebook.
Okay.
So it's a PDF, downloadable PDF that'll help you check into where you are physically,
Okay.
emotionally,
Okay. So going crazy.
spiritually. How are you doing with your goals? I mean, what month is it? May.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions. How y'all doing?
Right. Or success. We want success.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do we move through
And it's
that?
just a check-in,
Um, mhm.
right?
So the
It's a
chat is
check-in.
open now. Patty's giving you some love. Diane is giving you some love. Ashley says, so true about the comparison when you feel you're bad at meditation or really anything. Sherry, can you drop in the chat the gift. So again, tell everybody it's a guidebook that they can
It's a guidebook.
access.
Yeah, it's a PDF. So you simply click the link and you automatically get the link to the PDF and you print it.
Okay. I want it to get, there it is, because I want to click it. Okay, everybody click the link. We'll all click the link. By the end of the day, I'll have like all of these tabs open. But that's amazing.
Do you remember when we had to go to the library and put it in our backpack?
I do remember. And I hated the library. I'd always just borrow books from people.
Well, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. Yeah. Microfiche, if anybody here is young enough to know about microfiche.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Technology has changed. And that's where, when we connect with the new technology, then you have the opportunity to try something new.
Okay. Tell everybody about your VIP gift. We won't be dropping the link, but if you haven't got your VIP upgrade now for the VIP, and you'll get all of the gifts. So Nancy, tell everybody.
That's the 6-day reset. That's where you get to experience scalar wave energy over 6 days with 6 different sessions.
Wow.
So for example, there is Essentials, which runs you through the unwind that I was speaking about, the quantum. Then there's a yogic. There's so many different flavors. And understanding which one works for you is super fun.
Wow.
So I'll give you an example. When I was learning the technology, I had a phone call.
Got about 30 seconds. So I want you to tell everybody and then share your last words of wisdom. Like,
I had the phone call that ignited my anger. Then I phoned a friend who had this device, and she helped me find my setting for that moment.
Yeah.
And I went from just grr to, wow.
Really?
That was cool. What was that?
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. Last words of wisdom.
Want to experience more joy. I mean, do you want more joy in your life? More joy is possible. Less pain is possible.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session on the Sacred Success Summit. For more information or to apply to be a speaker at one of our upcoming events, email our team at breakthrough@clarityconfidenceconnection.com. Now, tune in to another transformational speaker.